Well, hello, and welcome to Stop. Let's Team Up Those Daring Defenders. Number 25, and we're covering Giant Size Defenders number 1. Woohoo! I am a child of the Giant Size Marvel comic era. This is in my sweet spot, the 70s, when I was growing up and my brother was turning me on to comics. I read this out of order. This should go between 12 and 13. I was going by what's in the Essentials, and the Essentials is wrong. But let's get started, because this should be a quick episode, because there's a lot of reprints. But I got stuff to say, but it's not going to be a long episode, even though it is a giant-sized, glorious comic book. Let's get the basics in it. It was released April 23rd, 1974. Cover date July 1974. It is called The Way They Were. Writer of the framing sequence. Okay, this is, it's a mixed reprint new. It has a framing sequence by Tony Isabella, drawn by Jim Starlin, inked by Al Milgrom, colorist Jim Starlin, Petra Goldberg, inker Dave Hunt, and Artie Simic, who's doing the back, and Roy Thomas and Stan Lee were the editors. Bill Everett wrote and drew The Submariner. Denny O'Neil scripted the Doctor Strange, and Steve Ditko penciled it. And Stan and Jack, wrote the Hulk. And then there's a Hulk. So it's a lot of fun. It's basically a framing sequence. And the Jim Starlin stuff in it is freaking amazing. I'm a huge Jim Starlin fan. I was reading this stuff, his stuff as it was new and just coming out, Thanos and stuff like that, and the whole Captain Marvel. It's just really amazing stuff, and it was beautiful. So basically, okay, so here's the synopsis. Curious about her teammates' past heroics, Val is given a glimpse of their past lives via a spell cast by Clea. Little knowing that with each view into the past, each hero is transported to a limbo dimension where they relive the past adventure viewed. While Hulk deals with the mystical confinement, Namor must battle phantom Nazi airships and Strange battle the phantom Mr. Rasputin. Freeing themselves, Doctor Strange manages to break the spell and warn Clea against using the spell ever again. This story, and this is coming from the Marvel database online, this story reprints the following stories. Hulk's temperamental bonding to Rick Jones from Incredible Hulk Volume Number 1, issue Number 3, Submariner's youthful battle with the Nazi airplane, Submariner Comics Volume 1, Number 41, and Doctor Strange battle against Mr. Rasputin in Strange Tales Volume 1, Number 145. I will say this, I loved all of them. I've read the Hulk one a bunch of times. It's in a couple of collections. It was in the Essential Hulk Number 1. It's one of the early issues of Hulk before it was canceled. It got canceled relatively early, and then he ended up in Tales to Astonish. Beat me up on Twitter or whatever social media we all end up after Musk drives it into the ground. So I liked it a lot. It's a fun one. The Submariner one was very 1940s, but I really like Bill Everett's 1940s comics. They are light, they're entertaining, and the art is stunning. So it's well worth your time. And Ditko Doc Strange is Ditko Doc Strange. I'm not that big a Ditko fan. And Billy, you can beat me up for this, and I would take it. I need to read some Doc Strange. I've not read a lot of Doc Strange, except for certain eras later in like the 80s and 90s. And the Defenders. The Defenders is where I know Submariner the most, and it's where I know Strange the most, and where I know Hulk the most. Even though I did read a lot of Bill Mantlo Hulk, because it's Bill Mantlo, and it was great. But this is a really great comic. These giant-sized comics came out there. The Defenders has 4, Avengers had 4, Giant Man-Thing had 5 giant-sized Man-Things. I'll just let that lay there. But they did these quarterly, and they went in between issues, and it was to give you like this, which is a little bit of reprint, or like, say, Giant Size Avengers number 1, where they had an adventure that was outside of the main thing, but it had everybody but Swordsman in it for some reason. But then when Englehart was finishing up his run, it really dealt with the Kang stuff, the origin of the Vision, and this Kree-Skrull War, basically, in the Kulti, the Kotai, the plant people, and the eventual marriage of the Celestial Madonna saga. There's the Kang War and then the Celestial Madonna saga. which is the end of Steve Englart's run, which is just amazing stuff. And I will cover it, both of those arcs as a whole at some point, because they need talking about, and I love them. But this, and for Defenders, it jumps in, and they have two, which I think for the most part in the Defenders, they are one and dones that happen between arcs. We're about to do the Magneto 2-part story next, where Nighthawk officially joins the team, gets his new costume, and then we're gonna, I think after that is Giant Size 2, and Damian Hellstrom, and I think that may have Wasp, Yellow Jacket, and Power Man. I'm not sure. During this era, we get to see Power Man and Damian Hellstrom, and Hank Pym comes around a little bit. So does Wasp. They do the non-team thing where you have the core four, which is Doc Strange, the Hulk, Valkyrie, and Nighthawk. And I think Submariner comes back once or twice, but not as much. But this Giant Size is great. It's well worth it. It's on the app, and it looks great. It's a good way to get some Golden Age and Silver Age goodness into your brain. And if you weren't reading Defenders, you could buy it. You could have bought that comic and had a hell of a good time. So I really recommend it, and I'm really enjoying it. We're about to get into the Defenders that I know the best, because we're gotten to the point where I started reading it regularly. I'm looking forward to it. And as I said, we're going to start doing arcs when a Giant Size comes up. We are going to do just the Giant Size for the most part, unless there's an odd number of issues or something. I will probably, maybe it and a one and done. And I will say this: we will be, and we're going to do the Howard the Duck Treasury, because it's the Howard the Duck Treasury and it has the Defenders, and I consider it continuity, as did the Amazing. And if you're listening to this and you want something else to listen to about Defenders, I really recommend Tighten Up the Defense. Corey and Hub do a great show. They're light, they're funny, they go into a lot more detail, they're a little more witty than I am, and do a more deeper dive. So I recommend that. So, folks, this is, I told you, it was going to be a short one. We're about 7 minutes in. This is going up a day late on Friday. Just had a lot going on yesterday, and I wanted to, my brain wasn't ready to do this, but I'm done, and it's good. But tomorrow or Sunday, I will do another episode. Most likely record it Saturday, drop it Sunday, and I'm going to cover New Golden Age #1 and Stargirl, The Lost Children #1, which are big comics for me that are coming out, because it's a JSA thing, it's a Stargirl thing. And I'm going to kind of follow this stuff as it comes out. And I hope you enjoy that. I'm going to do something with Tom King's Danger Street and the First Comic Specials, like I said. I'm going to start doing some of those things regularly, and I may drop them in on Wednesdays or something. But they'll be once a month things. And I hope you enjoy that. It's kind of me doing comics as they're coming out and then doing the stuff about past comics. I've got a couple ideas for stuff coming up. As I said, I'm going to do Legion Star Trek Team Up. I have an idea for what me and Kirby are going to talk to next, and I'm going to message him later today. And then if you haven't seen it, the trailer for the new Legion of Superheroes Blu-ray is out. It looks very good. I have positive vibes. I think I'm going to like it. And when I have that, I'm going to have some guests on, and we're going to discuss that when it comes out. I just went and picked up books. I went and paid for my Invaders Omni, which I will probably give a review of. It is huge, but it's everything, and I'm excited about that. And I picked up some comics and another back issue, and I'll do what I bought on comics coming up soon, and probably do a couple weeks worth. So that's it. I'll probably talk more about what I'm not covering instead of the Giant Size comic. So, again, guys, hey, thank you for listening. Read this comic on the app. Check out the app. I like the app. I'm going more digital because of money, especially with DC. I've joined the Ultra app. I like it, but I hope they're dumping more stuff. I want more stuff on there. I want some more Silver Age, more Golden Age on. Check them out. See this on it. It was great to read it in that. I read it in the Essentials too. I've been eyeballing some, do I want to get the first 2 Defenders Omnis to replace my Essentials? I'm trying to be, not duplicate stuff. So, but until then, folks, hey, remember, be safe, be smart, please be kind to one another, and read some comics.